I don't know what's the purpose, but please help me find the words, the understanding, and let this just, I don't know, help just one person. Bendiciones. I'm going to wait until a couple of more people get on. Please, God, help me. Please, God, help me. Please, God, help me. Please, God, help me. Help me make it. Okay. This is not how I wanted all of this to come out, but I realized something today that I've already put my life out on social media. I've overshared and I've shown so much. And for me, I'm going after a dream and a vision, and I've made it into a goal, and I'm here in California, and I am frustrated because I watch other influencers and I'm like, why are they not like, why? Okay, I get it. They're playing the game, and that's why they're at where they're at, but I don't know how to play that game. I don't know how to not be real and talk about real things. And I feel like because of that, I'm not reaching the level of popularity that I have the potential to reach because I talk about things that are serious. But I started all this because I was embarking on a very serious journey in my life. I was essentially leaving everything that was comfortable, apartment, job, whatever, that was crawling around me to go after myself, to really learn and figure myself out, and to go on my own and know that I can do it and break free from that cycle of just, I wasn't going to survive in the South. I wasn't going to survive in the South, and I experienced too much. And throughout this whole journey, when I don't know how it just transformed. I was a girl who bought a camper. I didn't think I had been doing YouTube. Hopefully, I'm sorry. I turned off the comments because I wanted to make sure I'm saying what I need to say. You're probably distracted because my pants are unbuckled. It's just we're in the car and I want to, you see, the zipper goes undone because I'm too thick. So sorry, my bad. I didn't think any of this was going to happen. I didn't think that my life was going to change and I was going to be awarded and gifted a platform to speak and to actually connect and make connections with people and have people reach out to me, send me letters and tell me, girl, I see you. I understand. I've been there. I know what you're talking about. I felt your pain. I felt like I've built this community in the House of Realness with just this sort of like understanding that we're all in this together. Once we know it's for sure You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all in this together, and my pain may not be your pain, but people have related and resonated with me and have found something in me that has made them continue on this journey with me. And I think I got lost in the sauce and I got lost in translation, and I was trying to transform this into a fantasy. I was trying to live a fantasy because my reality was not so great and everything around me is crumbling, and I am acting destructively, I feel like, and erratically and irresponsibly. And it's because I I don't know how to, and I'm okay. In order for all of this to make sense, in order for you to understand why I'm all over the place and why I'm so lost and confused, I need y'all to realize that the underlying reason why I came to California was to feel safe as a trans woman. I keep saying trans, but I don't I don't know necessarily that I feel trans. I'm just me, but I know that the world will see me as that, and I know that in being in real situations, it always boils down to that. So I have to, I guess, accept this title of trans and go with that. But I came and I asked the House of Representatives, and I said, where do you think is going to be safe for me to get a opportunity and get help as a trans woman? People said New York, they said California, and they said Canada. And the sad part of it is that there's how many, 50 states? And let's not even talk about international waters and people who are from around the world, trans women that are still being persecuted, killed, getting arrested. Like, it's not all sunshines and rainbows just because we have a pride once a month. And I think that that's what a lot of people get twisted. There has been a lot of advancements and a lot of movements forward for the LGBTQ plus A community, but only for a certain few of those members. Let's keep it a buck 50. Let's keep it totally transparent. There has been major strides when it comes to, okay, there has been strides for the LGBTQ community, for the G part of it. There's been major strides for the G part of it, but there is still not enough strides being made for the T part of the LGBTQ plus A. And that is sad to hear that the only places that were allotted to me in these 50 states were California, Canada, New York. Canada being over the borders and California and New York being the two most expensive cities, argumentatively, to live in the United States. So what does that mean for Ebony in South Carolina? What does that mean for Ashlyn in Virginia? What does that mean for Lauren, okay, in Pennsylvania, having to drive to Pittsburgh? It's happening all over where trans individuals, trans women, are not able to access medical, any help essentially. And living in South Carolina, I had to drive all the way to Asheville, North Carolina in my truck, a 2-hour voyage, to go to the one clinic, the one Planned Parenthood that could see me as a trans woman. And I had to pay out of pocket. And in that clinic, I would meet so many other trans women that were traveling so far to this one clinic in the South in Asheville, North Carolina, because it was the only place that offered HRT medications, hormone replacement therapy. Something that for a lot of trans women helps with gender dysphoria. And I've never spoken openly about my gender dysphoria, but I try to exude this level of confidence, this sort of fake it till you make it. And I try to tell myself I'm beautiful, I'm this, I'm that. And I put so much emphasis in loving myself, but I need to be completely transparent. In talking to my therapist, I have realized that I have learned to mask and not look at the places of me that trigger me and make me feel like I am just hideous. And I'm like the ugliest thing in the world. And I hear all those critiques about my looks from when I was young, just growing into my own. As women, we all get critiqued on our looks as we're growing up, and we constantly get critiqued about our looks. It's not just because I'm trans. It's not just because I'm trans, but because I'm trans, I grew up growing breasts and having boys and girls constantly touching on my chest and asking me questions about it. And I was like some science experiment, some museum piece that they felt like everybody could touch. And I became desensitized to that. And I just grew up in a world where I was like, that's to be expected. I'm different. So because I'm different, people are going to be curious and they're going to do what they want to do and they're going to say what they want to say. And I just have to deal with that because I'm the one that's different. They're the ones that are normal. I say all this to say that I came to California and something's happened for me. Something that I haven't really spoken about, and that after waiting for a long time, I finally was able to get on LA Care. I finally was able to see a doctor, and I've been given medication. And I don't want to go too much into detail because I think that we've normalized trans people having to speak up about the medical side of things. And everybody medical side of whatever they're going through is private. And that's as far as I'm going to go. But I've been without it for so long that I'm scared to even start it. I have it and it's sitting there, and I paid $1. I used to pay $190, $170 for everything that I needed. And here I am. I got it for $1 in California, finally. Finally. That easy. Going to the pharmacy and they're like, your copayment is $1. I had to sit there and I was like, really? Like $1. They was like, you want to pay card or cash? I pulled out that dollar so fast. And here I am. I have it and I'm so scared to take it because I'm like, this is only allotted to me because I'm here in California. California is one of the few places that offer this to trans women. And it took a while, but after being on the waiting list for a really, really long time, I finally was able to start seeing a therapist. That was the first thing. They didn't need to wait for my thing to get approved. And I've been speaking to my therapist, and that has been of great help. And I think that you guys have seen a lot of my pain resurface because I'm doing the shadow work. I'm doing the work. I'm talking to my therapist and I'm telling her, she's given me hope. She told me, you can retrain your brain. You can free yourself from this trauma. And in doing all this shadow work, I have realized how much abuse that I suppressed, how much I had endured out in the street because I almost like erased the memory. And in talking about these things, a lot has resurfaced that I hadn't thought about since I was a child. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it. I had unplugged myself. It was almost like my brain could not deal with it. And it just, poof, it pushed all that away. and it has resurfaced, and it almost at a moment where I feel it. I don't know if you guys saw when I was on Instagram live, and the homeless guy was like, "Mommy, take me home." And in that moment, I wasn't me. I wasn't me in that moment. I was that little girl screaming. I was that little girl. I was scared. I was lost. I was confused. I was sad. I was broken. For the first time, I'm realizing that, it just takes a different level of work. People don't talk about mental health and healing trauma and getting past that and freeing yourself. But that takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of journaling. That takes a lot of like, okay, I can't push this down. I got to go through it. I got to feel it. I got to acknowledge it. And I've been dealing with a lot of that on top of having to be functioning, having to go to work every single day because I got to make the ends meet. Because it's expensive in California. It's expensive. And I don't want to give up my therapy, and I don't want to give up my medication, and I don't want to give up because I'm not a quitter. But then I think about all the girls that I met in the clinic in Asheville, North Carolina, that we would talk about like surgeries and what they felt like would make them feel complete. And for every girl, it was different. It differed. And we will always talk about the money and how expensive, and we can't think about that. And for a lot of girls, they have to resort to a lot of different ways to making money to be able to afford these very expensive surgeries. And I was just talking to my doctor, and I said, "Hey, I heard," because there was a myth, like in the clinics, the girls would talk and they'll be like, I think in California they pay for the surgeries, but you just need to know like how to like get the insurance to pay for it. And we would talk about it and we would be like, really? Like, you think in California they're paying for these surgeries? So something told me, ask the doctor. And I asked the doctor, and the doctor said, yeah, you're on that plan. And I said, well, what's the first step? He said, well, you just did it. You asked me. He put me on a waiting list. And I did my first 2 appointments that you need. They're letter writing appointments where you speak to a therapist twice and you speak on what you feel like you need, and whatever that is different. And I did the first 2 appointments, and I didn't want to talk about it because I'm like, this can't be real. This isn't real. It doesn't feel real to me. It doesn't feel real. None of this feels real. I'm like, this is too good to be true. Yes, I waited so long, but now that I've waited, they're telling me you're going to have to still wait. You're going to have to still wait. But now you're on the list. I'm on the list. I'm on the list. And I'm scared. And I don't want to talk about it because I know that people are they want to know what surgery. They're like, are you getting the surgery? Because to cisgender heteronormative people, you are only a woman if you have the anatomy that women are born with. So to everyone, when you speak of surgeries as a trans woman, it always resorts to, are you getting the vaginoplasty? I'm going to be completely transparent with you. I will not be discussing what I'm getting. can't believe I said it. I won't be discussing what I'm getting. Not unless I want to. Sorry. But I won't be discussing that. And I think the reason why I have been really under the pressure cooker that is life is because I I feel the weight of the situation more so now than ever. I'm like, okay, and talking in with the therapist and about surgeries, they're like, you need a stable place because you won't be able to work for a lot of months. And I'm like, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, and I don't know where I'm going to live in April. I'm on the list, but like, is this even feasible? This isn't feasible. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this. And then I tell myself, well, if you removed money and you removed situations and you removed that all, would you still want to? I say yes. I wish I could tell if y'all could still hear me. Sometimes my audio be off, and I hope that my audio is still on. If my audio is still on, can you give me a thumbs up? I just need to know if y'all even hearing me. Okay, I guess y'all hear me. I hope this video reaches out to any trans individual throughout the 50 states of America. If you do not have access to medical care, to HRT medications, if you have dreamt and wanted a surgery and you thought to yourself it wasn't possible because you don't have the money, I'm here to tell you that unfortunately right now there's only a few places that offer us help. I'm here in California, and I have recently gone through the process, and I have done my 2 letter writing appointments to get on the waiting list for surgeries, paid for by LA Care. I want you to know that it's expensive here, and it's going to be hard, and you're going to want to give up so many times. And you might be very scared that you're going to be homeless and you're going to wind up in Skid Row. And I know that I am very privileged because I have people that follow me, and I have this truck, and this has been my guardian angel. And I know that not everybody has a vehicle. And I know that not everybody has the will. You give up. But if you want just a little bit of help, and it doesn't guarantee you nothing here, I'm not gonna lie to you. But if you just want a little bit of help and just the hope and the promise of an opportunity to get what you need, come to California. I wish there was more to help you. I wish. But help is limited because there's so many of us that need help. And I hope that by sharing this, I could bring awareness to reality. And hopefully, one day, I could change it. Maybe legislation would change. And you could get what you need everywhere and around the world. Because it's not just us. It's trans women all over the world that don't have access to what they need or to the help that they deserve and should get. And I don't just speak for myself, I speak for them too. And I hope that if anybody comes across this video, you know that there is hope. There is hope. And it's okay to give yourself the privilege to believe in it. To tell yourself that you're worthy to believe in it. It is okay to want and to expect more. I said it. I said it. Now, it's time to focus how I'm going to make it here in California. And I'm going to stay here so that these opportunities can still be allotted to me. So, it's time to make the Fenty dream come true. Not the cute little chicken nugget in the BMW. Look. You could tell he's short because, look at me, I'm tall. There's not enough roof space. And I'm in a truck. So you could see I'm a tall person. He in his car. And there's a lot of like roof space. So you could tell he's a chicken nugget. Unless the car really seats low. Maybe he got long legs. I don't know. Wouldn't it be funny if he's watching me and then he look at me and he's like this, I ain't no chicken nugget. And he got out the car and he's mad tall and he pressed me and I'll be like this. All right. All right. You know, because I wish a tall person would try to challenge me. I've never had a tall person try to challenge me. All right, guys. I'm going to go. I got to get ready for work. I got to figure out, you know, what we're going to do, but we're going to get to it. So, I love you guys. I don't know if I'll keep this video up. I don't know. I don't know if I should keep this video up. I don't know if I've shared too much. I don't know. I don't know. But I just know that I was tired of not seeing anyone talking about it or maybe offering somebody hope. That's all I'm saying. Because I kept thinking about the girls at the clinic that talked about this. And I'm like, yo, the myth is real. It's real. You really can get help here. You just have to wait. You just have to wait. It's a waiting game. It's all a waiting game. And you have to survive. It's unfortunate. It's like the Hunger Games. Survival of the fittest until you make it there, until it's your turn. But then how do you survive afterwards? It's a modern day Hunger Games here in California. So I'm not going to sit here and paint no fantasies or no lies or no Hollywood dreams, honey. I'm not. This is not an episode of Euphoria. I still haven't watched that show. This is not episodes of Grey's Anatomy. This is real life. It is hard out here. It is the modern day Hunger Games, survival of the fittest. So it's not going to be handed to you and it's not going to be easy. But there is hope. And it's unfortunate that I can't give you a roadmap on how to deal with it. I'm still trying to figure that out. But I'm here to tell you that believe in yourself, believe in yourself, believe in yourself, believe in yourself. And the rest will follow. I promise you the rest will follow. So we out. And I might go live somewhere else. But for now, I'm going to go.